Hello everyone and welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. So my people, finally Rufai Osene and Dr. Bat on Arise Television have reacted to Mr. Peter Obi's visit to Chief Afe Babalola yesterday in Ekiti State concerning Mr. Dele Farotimi matter. So there have been a lot of mixed reactions from Nigerians, which a lot said that Peter Obi went there to beg instead of asking for justice, and a lot of people commended Peter Obi's action, saying that the most important thing is for Dele Farotimi to be a free man. And also Dr. Moses, who went to Ekiti State with Peter Obi to see Dele Farotimi as well as Chief Afe Babalola, has replied to Showore as well as blast him for saying that Peter Obi went to Ekiti State to beg. He said that Showore misinterpreted Peter Obi's purpose of visiting Chief Afe Babalola in Ekiti State yesterday. Let me allow you guys to listen to Rufai as well as Dr. Bat, what they have to say concerning this matter, as well as other trending news. But before then, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for doing so.
With a very disturbing video showing the assault of an officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps by a female motorist. In the video, the woman could be seen slapping and kicking the FRSC officer who impounded her vehicle at the Lekki Unit Command General Operations area in Lagos. Well, let's take a look at this video before we come back for a discussion.
One. Don't enjoy. That is about that. Where is it? It's outside. It's okay. Leave her. Don't touch her. Just leave her. They are putting my staff to my office. I said release him now. Release him now. Release his body. You are fighting in the office. I said come here.
I mean,
Rufai, carry this woman.
Close your mouth, Ayo. You can close it now.
You know what? An will carry this woman put.
Yes.
House.
I mean, the restraint, though, really. That officer needs to be
this is sad.
awarded.
I'm not. No, this is.
He needs to. Let me just say. Okay, go on. You're going to say. I wanted to say that this lady was not even the person who erred. She was just, a passenger in the vehicle, and obviously they said that the vehicle's inspection had expired since 2022. And they seized her car. I mean, what more did she want at the moment?
I like this video because it brings balance.
Yes.
Usually we bring the other side.
Yes. Yeah.
Where it's the FRSC or VIO violating or assaulting a citizen or someone who is driving. But to see the other side is shameful. Who is this woman? I'm sure that, I hope he would file charges against her for assault.
I think
these are the kind of things, and this is where we now praise these men and women who have to face this kind of assault, especially from big men who are protected, slaps, assault here and there. And so when we insult them, or when we let me not use the word insult, when we criticize them for being high-handed, let's also give them kudos for the kind of hardship they face on the roads and the kind of people they meet. Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are frustrated. Well, some Nigerians are angry and frustrated. And they pour out this frustration at any given chance that they have. There is no excuse whatsoever for that woman's behavior. None. I don't care if she was provoked, no matter what happened. And I don't know why the people were watching around her just kept and were just licking her hand. She was slapping and kicking. Who is she?
I mean, really, this was such a sad incident. Dr. Abate, a quick second.
This incident occurred on November 7 on the Lekki Expressway. As you said, the woman was a passenger in the vehicle. The driver did not drag anything. What was the issue? FRSC officials, having accosted the driver, discovered that the vehicle papers had expired in 2022.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And because of that, they wanted to impound the car. And this woman decided to jump into it.
I don't understand.
Some people have some kind of combative, aggressive, character. She had nothing to do with it. And she was the one fighting and all of that. But the issue is here. Number one, assaulting an officer in the course of his work or obstructing the course of justice is an offense. And appropriately, the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, has ordered that the corps commander in Lagos and the route commander should make sure that this woman is prosecuted. Yes. In fact, the police had to be called in to restrain her.
Yeah.
Only God knows where she found that kind of energy from, you know, to be so aggressive. So that matter, I think it should be diligently, and it should be diligently prosecuted. And number two is that the commercial is asking for the cooperation of the public to enable FRSC to be able to do its job. As has been pointed out, this is what, you know, uniformed officers usually face. People resisting arrest, people breaking the law. We live under an umbrella of gross lawlessness, both on the part of citizens and also on the part of some law enforcement officers. But we have to keep saying that the law must be respected. Otherwise, we'll be living in an Obesian state where people can just do what they like. But the difference between us and animals is that there is a regime of law that governs how people behave. But some Nigerians believe that they are above the law, no matter their level, because I don't know what gives this woman the confidence
to
think that she can take on men.
It's good that we brought balance to this story, really, but there will be an investigation. What? It wasn't her car. I don't know what the problem was. Well, she might also need some psychological evaluation, because that's really what it seems to boil down to at this moment. So women, they beat her. You said that before.
The officer did well, though, by not beating her, by not assaulting her.
He deserves an award.
No, so a couple of...
He restrained himself.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, all right. We'll take another story now. The hashtag Free Dele Farotimi has become even louder on social media after a federal high court in Ekiti state granted the human rights advocate a 50 million naira bail with one surety. The presiding judge in the case on Monday asked the surety to provide evidence of 2 years tax clearance and a letter of consent from the bank. Farotimi, who is being accused of spreading false information against senior advocate of Nigeria, Afe Babalola, was seen in a video shepherded by police officers to the courtroom in handcuffs, eliciting a flurry of reactions. This was quite the story yesterday when we saw Dele Farotimi in handcuffs. Nigerians, of course, reacted. Let me take this tweet from Festus Ogun, who wrote, Dele Farotimi in handcuffs. The other picture, Yahaya Bello walking majestically, tale of two justice systems. This was quite the tweet. Hashtag Free Dele Farotimi. Aisha Yusufu wrote, putting Dele Farotimi is what something, putting him in handcuffs is what something will humiliate him. Really, in a country where criminals illegitimately occupy offices, the last laugh is on them. If not for Dele's book, we would have ended up allowing zeros to go to the grave as heroes. Well, also, on Monday, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, visited Afe Babalola, the senior advocate of Nigeria, at his office within the Afe Babalola University in Ado-Ekiti, in the Ekiti state capital, where they had in-depth discussions on critical issues, including the situation of the activist and lawyer Dele Farotimi. After his visit, Peter Obi proceeded to the prison facility where the activist is being held. Well, during a private meeting, Peter Obi expressed solidarity and engaged in a candid exchange aimed at addressing the prevailing challenges he's facing. I mean, this visit, a lot of people had mixed reactions with, the photo of Peter Obi seeming to go to appeal to the senior advocate of Nigeria. Let me take Omoyele Showore's tweet. He wrote, I condemn those who went to beg Chief Afe Babalola today over the unjust detention and persecution of Dele Farotimi. The delegation led by Peter Obi did colossal injustice to the struggle to drain the swamp of judicial criminality in our country. Obi's action is like forcing Rosa Parks to return to the back of the bus of racial injustice during the civil rights era in the United States. The struggle continues. Hashtag free Dele Farotimi now. Your thoughts on Peter Obi's visit, Rufai?
Okay. So I'm going to be using a lot of Yoruba analogies. There's some people that have talked about why did he go and beg Chief, Chief Afe Babalola and all of that. You know, the first angle to that is, who were those that were there? Did he beg? That's the first question. Where's the empirical evidence that he went there to beg Chief Afe Babalola?
None.
You know, I keep talking about evidence, and I keep talking about facts, because facts are sacred. I have also seen a write-up by a certain Dr. Mo that was part of that delegation that responded. I didn't talk anything about begging, but they said they had critical conversations.
They had critical conversations. That's what I read out.
The Yoruba analogy I wanted to pull was, this could also be a conversation around Agbejo and Ikoda Agba-Oshikane, because he met with the two parties, the two fighting in this matter. After he met with Chief Afe Babalola, he met with Dele Farotimi. So he met with both parties. So the idea of beg, I don't know about that. Maybe if, you know, the people that claim that there was begging here and all of that can provide evidence. But as regards even the conversation about begging, and I keep asking the question that in society, how long are we going to beg our oppressors in this country? And I'm just talking in general terms as regards begging now. Yoruba, there's only Yoruba saying, oh, how long are we going to keep begging people that oppress us? Our political leaders that can't provide for us, that has cost us in this hardship. Because we live in a society where they say, oh, our political leaders are leaders in general. You have to be careful. They hold, after God is government, they hold the ace to our lives. But this ace to our life is only them and their families that it benefits. It doesn't benefit anybody. They are the ones that are getting richer. Their generation yet unborn are getting richer. So that's for me in the general terms as regards begging. But this conversation, I, in my own estimation, think to a large extent, it was right to go see both parties that were involved.
Yes.
What they had conversations, maybe if they did a transcript of what they had conversations about, we can know who begged or not.
Well, I guess we will see
That's
a tweet from Peter Obi in the course of the day.
Somebody that was there, Dr. Mo, had tweeted,
that's
and he didn't talk anything about begging.
He didn't say anything about that. But I'd love your thoughts on the image of Dele Farotimi coming out in handcuffs from the courtroom.
So this is what we've consistently said. I mean, we've had an extensive conversation, different opinions, different sides to the matter. But it's the way that justice seems to be dispensed in favor of one party to the other, or how people seem to get the short end of the stick of justice when there's an ox to go on. So that's the challenge we have there. Yahaya Bello, as well as a lot of other people who they have criminal cases to answer, are alleged to have stolen tons of money, walk freely, even they get invited by the EFCC, they walk in majestically, they are not abducted, transferred to a different state. And so you wonder, how do we measure these things? What threat did Dele Farotimi pose as to have him in handcuffs? What he just demonstrated was just to humiliate him. It seems like it was a plot or ploy to humiliate him. And guess what happens, unfortunately? It was, without being prejudiced, what it makes him is a hero. When you put people like this who are meant to face the law, you make them heroes. It's heroic for them. And so you only increase their supporters base, and the injustice that it seems like makes people more sympathetic to his case and more upset with the agitators.
Right.
And there was no justification. I don't see a reason why he had to be put in handcuffs, especially when we've seen a number of times people who have more significant charges against them not in handcuffs.
Absolutely. I mean, I believe that today is International Human Rights Day, and it just comes at this time. I believe that we're hearing that Dele Farotimi has just arrived the Chief Magistrate Court for his hearing at this moment. But before I come to you talking about human rights, Dr. Abati, in the meantime, activist and lawyer Deji Adeyanju has claimed that the Imo State Police Command have refused to release his client, Musician Speed Darlington, who was arrested in October over a petition of defamation written against him by Grammy Award-winning musician Burna Boy. Speed Darlington was rearrested in November for jumping bail, while in the post on X, Adeyanju stated that the singer has not been released, nor has he been charged to court. Let me read Deji's tweet. He wrote, "The police have refused to release Speed Darlington or take him before a judge to face trial on the childish excuse that the last time they released him to me, he traveled to the United States. This narrative is false because we told them he was going to the US to return." I mean, Dr. Bati, we are seeing the same sort of case here, defamation, human rights violation, as it seems to be at this moment.
Okay, let me start with the Speed Darlington case. What I suspect DG Adeyanju is bringing up is the right of any accused person, whatever the offense may be, to fair hearing. Sections 35 and 36 of the 1999 Constitution, which says that your right to fair hearing includes your offense being explained to you in the language you understand, you being taken to court within 72 hours, you being allowed to have a lawyer of your own. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be provided for you. And then, of course, you'll be given the opportunity to defend yourself, 35, 36. Now, if we say that he has not been charged to court since the matter, was incidented, then, of course, that would be an abuse of his right, the accused person's right to fair hearing. There was also something in the narrative about jumping bail and all that. Well, persons who are on, a court bail, they are not supposed to jump bail. But you have to place that against the terms of the bill.
The terms of the bill.
What are the terms of the bill?
Which Deji is claiming here that they told them.
Even if the person needs to travel,
right,
it will have to be, you have to see the leave of court.
Correct.
Simple logic in that regard. Now, on the Dele Farotimi case, yes, the optics, putting him in handcuffs for a bailable offense, didn't look quite good. But they will claim that, this is a case of criminal defamation. He has not shown any proof that he will be a flight risk in any way. There's been no, point in that regard. He himself is also entitled to fair hearing, like all accused persons, whatever the offense may be. Now, about Mr. Peter Obi intervening, I'll just make a small point that, look, in any legal proceeding, there's a room in our jurisprudence, as it is now, as it has evolved, for what is called alternative dispute resolution. There's room for mediation. There's room for intervention by third parties. If third parties intervene and the parties involved say, we have agreed on out-of-court settlement, or we have agreed that, look, we don't want to pursue this matter any further, they will approach the court. The court is not going to frown at either out-of-court settlement or alternative dispute resolution, particularly in cases like this, defamation, bailable offenses and all of that. So Mr. Peter Obi intervening as a third party has not done anything that is wrong. Whether you say he went there to prostrate for Chief Afe Babalola. Chief Afe Babalola is 95. Peter Obi must be like 61, 62. So, and he's a very respectful man, whatever the circumstances.
Absolutely.
But the thing to note is that, there's something called third-party intervention, mediation, alternative dispute resolution in our jurisprudence. It's not everything that is settled in court. Certain things can be settled out of court.
Okay, Dr. Bati, I respect that opinion as well. Well, the hashtag is on, free Dele Farotimi now. I mean, he's in court. We will follow up on the story. Let's now shift gears. We'll take another story. The father of Ebonyi State Governor, Chief Ezekiel Wifuru Nwankwo, who is said to have married 30 wives, has now been crowned king. Governor Wifuru presented a certificate and staff of office to his father on Monday, noting that it was done in line with the law establishing Ebonyi State local government and chieftaincy matters, Cap 146. The traditional ruler, who is a well-known farmer, is said to have fathered a total of 108 children from his 17 wives, including Governor Francis Wifuru, who is from his fourth wife, they say. The new king will now be superintending over 17 villages after being decorated as the Chibugo one of Oferenpe Agbaja Autonomous Community in Easy local government of the state. I tried. Didn't I try with those pronunciations? But a state governor has crowned his father king. Basically, that's what it appears to be at this moment. You are smiling too much, doctor, but 108 children. Rufai.
You see, the man is
I didn't know that we had that in Nigeria like this. And his father there are 17 wives that gave him those 108 children, but he was married to a total of 30 wives.
Yeah. He has
really
been able
prolific.
to add a marginal part to Nigerians' growth and development.
Growth and development.
So he has agreed with his wives. They've given him children. Now he's a king. His son is governor. He's a governor. And the only part that we had Koma against is if he was not the one that's rightly supposed to be there and the son used. But we don't know that. There's no evidence or empirical fact to prove that.
Yes.
So please, the man is living his good life.
I thought this was such a colorful story.
So everybody that feels offended, they too should go and have 108 children.
Yes. They should give birth to a governor. When the governor had granted an interview earlier, he had stated his growing up years and how the community was quite mean to his father. So this is almost like paying him back for the hardship that he faced.
Did he do it in accordance with the law?
I don't know. Now I don't know that. But he has exercised his power as governor because he praises his father despite having 108 children and 17 wives in his house, as being a good man who loves his wives and his children. So he's able to keep his home together.
Did you send all of them to school?
I don't know. I read somewhere that they said there are about 20 of them that graduates.
They have people that have children. They don't have governor among them. So I'm just saying that this is nostalgic for the governor himself because he's paying his dad back for what he faced when he was growing up.
Right. I mean, Dr. But isn't it the same governor that said he was going to fire civil servants in the state? Was it the same governor? Is it? If he's the one, right? Well,
civil
all right.
servants that do not show
that
up.
do not show up well.
All
right.
About 108 children?
108 children. I love it.
Well,
I love it.
The thing about this life is that individuals make their own choice.
Yes.
In traditional communities, Governor Nwofuru's father will be considered an alpha male.
Yes.
And it is his choice that he has made. And 100 out of 108 children, he has produced a governor out of them. That in itself is a major contribution within his environment. But the more exciting part of the story is that the father has become king. The son is the one even giving him the staff of office. According to the law, the chieftaincy law gives governors the powers to hand over staff of office, whether it's in Imo State or it's in Ondo State. That is what the law says. But there is some historical, political thing around that about how these governors, are now superintending over traditional authority, as dramatized by Professor Wole Soyinka in Kungi's Harvest. But we congratulate the father, we congratulate the son, and we wish him a successful reign where he is. And I think that you have mischievously paraded even the wives too.
I don't know how, but they were there in public. How is that mischievous? That's not mischievous. Pure evidence.
Empirical evidence.
30 wives, 17 of them producing
108 children.
What a baby making factory that the man
But you always encourage more children.
That should be a source of inspiration.
To the world.
No, not to the world. The present company, Rufai Hussein, and some other persons in Arise News that we have been encouraging to give us Arise babies.
Dr. Abati.
Well, all right.
It should be a source of inspiration.
Has done it on my behalf.
All right.
I have 6 children per wife.
He has done it on my behalf.
That's not too much. That's not too much.
Let every man speak for himself.
Well, all right.
Respect it. He has done it on my behalf.
We want another Rufai genius. Rufai on fire.
You need to get inside of you.
All right. Let's move on. Well, congratulations to the governor of Ebonyi State and to his father right there. We'll take another story now. Vice President Kashim Shettima has hit back on Kemi Badenoch, leader of UK's Conservative Party, over her comments about Nigeria. The Conservative leader, who was born in the United Kingdom to Nigerian parents, described Nigeria as a socialist nation brimming with thieving politicians and insecurity. Well, that was done before her election as leader of the Tories, while speaking at the 10th Annual Migration Dialogue at the State House in Abuja on Monday. Shetima said Kemi was entitled to her own opinions and has even every right to remove Kemi from her name, but that her opinion does not undermine the fact that Nigeria is the greatest black nation on earth.
Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the British Labour or Conservative Party. We are proud of her, in spite of her efforts at denigrating her nation of origin. She is entitled to her own opinions. She has even every right to remove the Kemi from her name. But that does not underscore the fact that the greatest black nation on earth is the nation called Nigeria. 1 out of every 3-4 black men is a Nigerian. And by 2050, Nigeria will surpass the United States, will be the 3rd most populous nation on earth. 1 out of every 3 black men will be a Nigerian.
The greatest black nation on earth. Vice President Kashim Shettima is spot on right there.
I love it. That's probably one of my favorite speeches of his. I felt really empowered as a Nigerian listening to that. Why? What is the reason? I'd really like to have a sit down with Kemi Badenoch to just really investigate her history and how Nigeria hurt her so badly. I don't know if that's the case or the fact that she has a political agenda and unfortunately Nigeria is collateral damage. But the truth is, no matter what she does, she's still Kemi Badenoch ni Adegoke, born to Nigerian parents. And interestingly, her dad is said to have been an activist for the rights of the Yoruba people. She lived in Nigeria for at least a considerable amount of years. She interacted with Nigerians. I don't understand where this hate is coming from. But OG is not just her. I think that we need a sense of love for our nation. A lot of people find it very easy to throw Nigeria under the bus or denigrate Nigeria at the drop of a hat. And she's just following that script. It's very unfortunate, but like the VP said, we are proud of you. Anyway, we cannot throw away our child. Kemi Badenoch, Adegoke.
It's all political. When Kemi was running for Dulwich in 2010, she was throwing the Nigeria card everywhere. What changed between then and now? Because if she goes the path of right-wing nationalism, it's going to help her president, has helped her prospect. Secondly, what she's not trying to do in this level of denigration is to denigrate socialism as a concept. And that concept has worked in Nigeria. Let's ask Kemi, the primary school she went to, that is highly subsidized. Is it not because of the socialist system? The care she got in her formative years in Nigeria was not because of the socialist system. So the ISL she went to, her father was a lecturer in Unilag, right? Her mom, highly subsidized for her. Is it not because of the socialist system? Is it not the socialist system that built a school like ISL?
All right.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to denigrate socialism. And the problem is the socialist system was not wrong in Nigeria. You know, the subsidies and things like that getting off. It was the mismanagement of the process by the corrupt leadership that was wrong. So this idea of trying to trump up right-wing nationality, right-wing politics, denigrate socialism, it's wrong.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Shall we head over now to the United States, where President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to end birthright citizenship, which is a cornerstone of the 14th Amendment, as part of his immigration crackdown. Trump spoke on Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press. Let's take a look.
Let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You've promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Through executive action?
Well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you. We have to end it.
All right, we see Trump here trying to end birthright citizenship, and we were just talking about Kemi Badenoch, who actually benefited from birthright citizenship. Dr. Bati, quick comment
Okay,
before we end.
first on Kemi Badnoch, we must realize that Nigerian recognizes dual nationality. And there's also under the provisions, you can renounce your citizenship of Nigeria. To the best of my knowledge, Kemi Badnoch has not said she's not a Nigerian, so she's Nigerian British. But even if she were to decide to renounce her citizenship of Nigeria, nobody can do anything about it.
Shetima says she can drop Kemi.
For every Kemi Badnoch, there are thousands of others, Nigerians, who are doing well in Japan, who are doing well in the same UK, who are doing well in Canada, who are doing well and projecting Nigeria and are happy to identify with Nigeria. And we too are happy to identify with them. So she's just one out of so many who are proud to be great ambassadors of Nigeria. As for President Trump, he has said when he gets there by January 20, he is going to give a number of executive orders. But on citizenship, it's a constitutional thing.
It is.
By birth, citizenship by birth, Fourth Amendment. That would require the intervention of Congress. So I don't think it's something they can do by fiat. And there are so many gray areas that time will not permit us to go into. Is he going to say, if your parents are born in America and you were also born there, you are no longer a citizen or what?
Right.
But this will be, a source of concern for people who do delivery tourism.
Delivery tourism. I know some people. Delivery tourism.
Baby delivery tourism
is ending under Tom Trump's watch. Just say no.
Welcome to Shamra Senior Steve.